Hungry, a motivational speech rewrites of me on once said, I'm hungry, not just for food, but for growth, for change, for life. I want to share some thoughts with you. I'm not asking you to agree with me or believe everything I say. All I ask is that you be open to this conversation. If something I say resonates, take it. If it doesn't, let it go. One thing I've learned, and maybe you have to, is that if you want something out of life, if you want to grow, achieve a goal, or break an old habit, it's not easy. Living your dream is hard. Changing is hard. But you know what else is hard? Just getting through life. I once heard a song that said, if it ain't one thing, it's another. Life always has something, some challenge, some setback. You're either in a problem, just left one, or headed into the next. So how do we handle that? How do we feed the hunger inside us? It starts with working on you. That has to be your number one investment. Spend more time developing yourself than you do on distractions. I read a line once. Most people never realize their greatness because they're sidetracked by secondary activity. We say yes to too much, stretch ourselves too thin, and forget the most important project, ourselves. Time keeps moving, and one day you wake up behind on your goals, behind on your bills, behind on your life. So take time. You deserve it. You're the star of your show. You write the script. You choose whether your life is a blockbuster or a flop. And that means dealing with that voice inside, the one that tells you you're not good enough, not ready, not worthy. We all hear it. I've had to yell at mine more than once. Shut up. I have work to do. That voice will tempt you, whether it's M&Ms or fear or laziness. And you have to stand up to it every day. Success is about selling yourself, on your dreams, on your abilities, every day, again and again. I've taught sales techniques, but let me tell you this. No method works if you don't believe in what you're doing. If you don't believe in you. That's why my focus isn't on the sale. It's on the seller. It's on you. It takes courage to act. It takes courage to come back after failure. I remember doing door-to-door sales as a kid. Doors slammed in my face over and over. My friend gave up, went back to the car, said, I can't do this. But I kept going because I was hungry. Here is a rewritten, polished version of the speech you provided. It's been transformed into a more coherent, motivational narrative while preserving the original message and tone. Step into your fear. A motivational speech take care of him. They said, my mother was ill. I was a doctor. I was hungry, but I had to keep going, and in the process, I discovered something powerful about myself. When you step into your fears, something inside you changes. Someone once said, I believe it was Winston Churchill, courage is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. That's what I did. I kept pushing, and with each step, something began to shift. I started knocking on doors. No. Next door. No. Bam. Another rejection. But eventually, I stopped taking it personally. I turned it into a game. I told myself, there's a yes out there. I just haven't found it yet. And I'm not going home until I do. So I kept knocking. And finally, someone said yes. I even asked, are you sure? Because I had gotten so used to hearing no. But I stepped in and sold. Because when you want something badly enough, you have to be willing to keep going no matter the odds. If you don't develop the courage to pursue what has been placed inside you, you're calling, you'll waste time seeking approval from others, and in doing so, you risk losing your nerve. People will talk you out of your dreams if you let them. They'll convince you that your vision has no value, and if you believe them, you'll quit. Life has a way of moving on you if you don't act. I know that firsthand. If it weren't for life pushing me, I'd still be a disc jockey. I didn't leave voluntarily. I was fired. I remember coming home and telling my wife at the time, that guy I work for is stupid. She said, if he's so stupid, why does he sign your paycheck? That hit me hard. I couldn't sleep that night. I realized that a man I didn't respect had control over my life. That wasn't just uncomfortable, it was unacceptable. Carlyle once said, truth crushed to earth shall rise again. Churchill said, the truth is incontrovertible. Malice may attack it, ignorance may deride it, but in the end, there it is. Scripture says, ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. The truth I had to face was that I wasn't in control of my destiny. I wasn't giving life my all. I had dreams I hadn't acted on. I lacked courage, and ironically, that man Virgil was a blessing. He made my life uncomfortable enough to force me to change. I started showing up earlier, staying later, working harder than anyone else. When asked why, I said, I'm not working for them anymore, I'm working for me. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, do it with everything you have. Develop a habit of over-delivering. Set a standard so high, others will be measured by it. As someone once said, do not go where the path may lead. Go where there is no path and leave a trail. It's easy to be negative, easy to do the bare minimum. I was at a company recently, 1,500 people were being laid off. The rest, just doing enough not to get fired. But that's not how you grow. You have to say, where I am, I will give my best because that is who I am. Mediocrity is a habit. Giving less than what you're capable of slowly corrodes your character. It affects your mindset, your confidence, your future. Set high standards for yourself and develop a sense of urgency. As Aurelius said, stop living your life like you have 1,000 years to live. Life is fleeting. Here today, gone today. If there's something you want to do and you can't do it all at once, do a little. Robert Schuller said, by the yard, it's hard, but inch by inch, anything's a cinch. I had a friend, Bobby Kerr. We were roommates. Bobby wanted to work in public relations. He had talent, drive, but he procrastinated. One day, his job transferred him. He went out to celebrate with coworkers and suffered a massive heart attack. Bobby didn't smoke, didn't drink. He was under 40, and he died. He never got to use all that talent. Ask yourself, how much time do I have left? We don't know. That's the truth, and most of us, like Bobby, take our gifts to the grave. If they put one more thing on his headstone, it would have been, he didn't use all his stuff. Most of us don't. We've each brought something unique into this universe, and it's time to make a conscious, deliberate, and determined effort to live with urgency, to use what we've been given, to pour ourselves into this life fully and without holding back. Because if we don't share what we've been brought here to give, no one else will. Stop wasting precious time. Start living as if every single day could be your last, because doing that changes everything. Life takes on new meaning, new purpose, new energy. Every moment becomes more valuable when we truly recognize it as a gift. To nurture that internal hunger for more, for meaning, growth, and impact. Start with your word. Don't give your word lightly. When you say something and don't follow through, it reflects who you are. Integrity begins with the promises you make to yourself. If you say you're going to do something, live it, be it. Your life should reflect your words and your character. Another essential step in developing that hunger is learning to be single-minded. Learn to focus. You'd be amazed what you can accomplish when you block out distractions and concentrate fully. Suddenly, ideas begin to flow. People and opportunities you never noticed seem to appear. Things that were always right in front of you become clear. Here's something I do that might help you. Every morning, I write down ideas, ways to improve myself, new thoughts that could bring me closer to my goals. Some days I write 15 or 20 ideas. Other days, it's a struggle. But even one idea can change your life. You've got to focus to develop your skills. There's a story about a new owner of a failing baseball team. He asked his pitcher, "What's your best throw?" The pitcher listed a few options, but the owner pressed him, "What's your best?" Finally, he said, "My fastball." The owner replied, "Then that's all I want you to work on." That year, the team went to the World Series. Most people go through life never discovering their fastball. They never develop their true talents, and if you don't nurture your gifts, they won't serve you. But if you do, they'll take you places you've never imagined. We often overlook what comes easy to us, but that's often where our real gifts lie. I've always loved talking to people, so I made a choice to develop that skill. Over time, my gift grew, and it has taken me far. You brought something into this world that no one else can. If you decide that your life is worth developing, that gift worth mastering it, you'll discover a whole new version of yourself. Drop your bucket where you are. Start from where you stand. Your gifts will make room for you when you work on your gifts. You gain not only success, but joy. You see yourself in a bigger light. Everyone needs an area in life where they feel competent, where people look at them and say, "That is your lane. That's what you were made for." You need to know it so deeply that no one can shake it. That's how you build unshakable confidence. But it requires discipline. When others are partying, you're practicing, you're reading, studying, learning. Pick an area of life that matters to you. Read just one book a month about it. In 5 years, you'll be among the top 5% in that field. I read at least 2 books a week. The average American reads just 1 a year. You can gain an edge just by outlearning others. In this fast-changing, complex, and competitive world, expanding your skills, talents, and self-vision is how you stay in control of your future. And whatever you choose to do, do it massively. I had a friend whose sales were dropping. I asked, "How many calls are you making each day?" He said, 25. I told him, double it, make 50, make 75, make 100. He said, "Man, that's too much, too much. Not if you want it, not if you're hungry. You're behind on your bills, and yet you're still talking too much. You want to get back on your feet fast. Try missing the car payments. Reality will push you forward real quick." People say there's no competition, but that's only true if you push yourself, and most people don't. They give up on themselves way too easily. The human spirit is incredibly powerful. It's hard to kill. Take Benjamin Disraeli, a Jewish man who rose to lead a nation at a time when Jews weren't even allowed outside past 10 p.m. He once said, "Nothing can resist the will of a people willing to stake their existence on their purpose." When your mind is made up, when your will is strong, you become unstoppable. I read something recently that said, the power to hold on through anything, the power to endure, that's the winner's quality. It's not talent. It's not luck. It's hunger, the ability to keep going after failure, without giving up. When you're hungry, you don't care about the odds. Doug Williams, quarterback for the Washington Redskins, proved that despite all the criticism, despite being told he couldn't win, he showed up and made history in the Super Bowl. How? He said, "I ignored my critics. I ignored even my own doubts." There's greatness in you, and you've got to learn to shut out the noise, both from others and from within. Decide, "I'm going to do this. I deserve this. I'll do it until I succeed." I once told someone, make 100 calls a day. He did it, and his sales skyrocketed. Why? Because he worked harder. He was relentless. He got creative. In Chinese, the word crisis means both danger and opportunity. When life hits you hard, look for the breakthrough. You've got to be so determined that even life gets tired of trying to stop you. I believe that life may hit you, may knock you down, but you keep getting up. I kept kicking, even when I didn't know how to quit. I was intelligently ignorant. I didn't know what I couldn't do, so I just did it anyway. And since you can't get out of life alive, you might as well enjoy it. Live with passion. Live with drive. One time, after a seminar, a parent came up and said, "Mr. Brown, my son's not motivated." I thought, I wonder why. Motivation is contagious. If you're surrounded by negativity, it'll drain you. Watch who you allow into your life. Keep dead faces and dead energy away from you. Abraham Lincoln once refused to hire a man because of his sour expression. He said, "After 30, you're responsible for your face, your mindset, your posture, your energy. It all affects your success. Be fearless." People can sense when someone's unstoppable. When you walk with power, even the dogs in the neighborhood don't mess with you. You've got untapped power within you, but you've got to release the brakes. Some of us go through life holding ourselves back, not because we can't move forward, but because our emergency brake is on. We're afraid. We're stuck in the past. Let it go. Just because something didn't work out before doesn't mean it won't now. Separate your performance from your identity. One bad day doesn't mean you're a failure. It just means you had a bad day. The last chapter of your life hasn't been written yet. I remember going to a radio station. I told the manager I wanted to be a broadcaster. He looked at me, straw hat, overalls, and asked, "Do you have any experience?" I said no. He said, "Sorry, we don't have a job for you." But I didn't give up. I showed up every day. I built relationships. I ran errands. I watched. I listened. I learned. One night, a DJ got drunk on the air. The station manager called me and said, "Can you work the controls until someone gets there?" I said, "Yes, sir." Then I called my mom and my girlfriend and said, "Turn on the radio. I'm about to come on air." I sat in that seat and said, "Look out. This is me, Les Brown, your man with a plan." That was the beginning. But it only happened because I was hungry. If you want something bad enough, you'll find a way. Don't get caught up in how it'll happen. Just know what you want and stay committed until it's yours. When a baby is learning to walk, you don't stop them after they fall a few times. They'll walk when they're ready. And you'll succeed when you refuse to quit. You have to be willing to do whatever is necessary not until it gets hard, not until someone criticizes you, don't give up on yourself. Keep knocking. Life may try to ignore you, but if you knock long enough, someone will answer and say, "What do you want?" And that's your moment.